Good morning, children. Hope you are keeping fine at home. Stay at home, stay safe. Today, once again, I come to you through this small video. Today, I am going to discuss with you about the evolution of transport. The word evolution, if you remember, we have discussed in lesson 1, and in that lesson we have discussed strongly, broadly about how human evolution took place. And so, what is evolution then? Do you remember? I hope you remember and learn, because this is one of the important questions. So, I'll tell you. Evolution is the process by which different living organisms develop into present form. In a course of time, develop into present form. Whatever form they have, that form they have got through the evolution, through the gradual development of their physical features, the mental intellectuals, and so on and so forth. And so there are various development that took place. That's called evolution. Today we have evolved. We were not like that in the beginning. So that is evolution. So similarly, the transport also evolution. The evolution of transport took place. So people in the ancient age, people initially they carried their goods, whatever things they had, the food materials they carried on their back, and then they brought from jungle to the place where they used to stay, to the caves, and then they carried. So this carrying things from one place to another is called transport. So now, no, not only the carrying things, now the living things like human beings going from one place to another by various means also is a transport. So transport is the way of carrying things from one place to another by various means is called transport. Walking is not a transport. I said carrying things. So carrying things, either they are carrying on their head, on their back, or they are going by various means like cart, the trucks and the vehicles and the trucks and the lorries and the trains and the aeroplanes, whatever means they are called transport. So that is how. So initially they carried things. It was very difficult. So in order to make things easier, afterwards heavy things they could not carry on their back, so they started pulling. So the evolution of sledge came. See the sledge, the pulling things. Hope you have seen the sledge. A sledge. Usually these days you will be able to see the sledge on the ice. When the ice covered areas, people travel on the Arctic Circle. People because throughout the year there is ice over there. So ice. The next people there. So that is called sledge. Sledge, pulling things, heavy goods. So they tie, and then with the help of rope or the other things they start pulling. That's how the sledge came. Next thing is, after sledge, it was very difficult. That also was quite difficult to pull, very heavy. So afterwards they pulled the things, but underneath they put the roll of the logs. The logs, the round logs, They put like this pencil, many pencils you put them, and if you roll this over this, then it rolls very nicely. So they put logs of wood, and over that they put the heavy objects, heavy goods, and started pulling. So it made the things easy, it rolled easily. So they started rolling things over the logs of wood. That also, how many logs of wood they have to change. So people, there were quite many people engaged in the pulling. And so later on, they made it, they understood the rolling thing. So they, what did they did? They made the slice of the wood, and they fixed, they made a hole, and then they tied, they made the axle, and then they started making rolling things. So rough wheel they made. That is the beginning of the wheel. So once they made the wheel and put the axle in it, and things became very easy. They fixed in the cart and then started pulling, and so it was very easy. Now they were pulling, 2 people, 3 people, they were pulling the cart. Hope you have seen how people rush to pull the Rath. Jagannath Puri, you have seen the Lord Jagannath and the Balbhadra and all those things. You know that they pull, people pull. That's how people used to pull earlier, with the cart and all that. But it was heavy, so what did is they started fixing the making the animals, bulls, pulling the cart. So that's how the bullock cart came. Bullock cart came, and so many other carts. Now bullocks also is difficult. The bullocks or the horse and all that, they started pulling. Slowly they invented the machine. So that's how the cars and vehicles that today you see have come up. This is the process of evolution. All of a sudden they did not start making wheel. The wheel came from the sledge and the rollers. And so that's how the history of a wheel is. Today in all the things, all the machinery, all the mechanisms, wheels are there. Wheels are there. If you, even the pen that you are using, in this pen also there is wheel, this rolling, and then there is a on the tip of of your pen, that's called the ball. There is a small roller, the round thing that is fixed, so that the ink is slowly rolled out. So there is a roll. So even the pen that you are using, the fan that is on top of your head, is a fan, and that also has the wheel. And the vehicles, all the vehicles, whether it is aeroplane or the train or the any machine for that matter, any mechanism, you see there is a wheel. There is a wheel. And so the importance of wheel today, without wheel we cannot live. It has become our part. Now it's very difficult to understand how this evolution took place, but it is the truth. And so this is this lesson 4, the evolution of transport, deals with this. This is just to introduce yourself. So once they started traveling, or they invented the wheel, this made the people traveling from one place to another easily. Far distance places, people started moving out, and so the road came. The invention of road, the path, they came, and then animal pulled cart, bullock cart, buffalo cart, horse cart, whatever cart, they started coming up. With the rise of the settlement, you remember in the Neolithic age, people, they settled, and agriculture became very important occupation. In the previous lesson we have done that. And so with the settlement, people felt the need of exchange of goods among each other. So this developed the trade practice. Exchange of goods started, business. See how the business came. Exchange of goods. Those days there was no currency, no money. Today you are paying the money and then you get your goods. Earlier people used to exchange goods from goods. If you want to buy the pots, you have to give some rice or something. With that they used to exchange. So you have to find out who can exchange with you. So this is how it was very difficult. So now the exchange of goods came, and so carriage, the invention of wheel made it also the development of a business, buying things. exchanging things. So initially people traded in places of they could where their people exchange goods of among themselves nearby. Later on, when they started, this vehicle started, cart started, they started carrying things far away places for exchange. This is how transport started. See, transport, and then they started transporting things from one village to another, one place to another. See, I told no definition of transport. So this transporting things from one place to another started. So this is how, see how the invention of the wheel, carrying of things, and then transport system started. And so they started transporting things. Not only things, the people traveled and transport. Both increased with the invention of wheel. People started moving out of their place, going from one place to another for various reasons, for food, for shelter, for exploration, to find out things, what is there next, how far is the thing, so all those things. So transport started. So transport is to carry things from one place to another. Not only things, so traveling, carrying, this becomes the part of the transport. So dear children, this is how the invention of wheel and the transport, evolution of the transport started. Evolution of wheel initiated the transport system, traveling system. And so today we can go within no time, can go from one place to another due to this evolution. We have evolution has developed so much today. It has become modern transport is the fastest means. So we'll next phase of this lesson, next video, I will tell you the transport system, modern transport system, voyages, and the transport system. So I think let us discuss also the trade. I said trade, buying and selling of things, and the voyage. Voyage means traveling long distances is a voyage, either by sea, by water, or by road. But especially this traveling by sea is called voyage, because that was the easy means of a transport system. And so we have number of people who made long voyages, like Bartholomew Dias in 1488, Portugal explorer. He reached the Cape of Good Hope. Then becomes Christopher Columbus, 1492. He explored and found this one America, the continent of America. Then the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama sailed and found out the Cape of Good Hope and reached India. So sea route to India, when Europeans could not come through the Mediterranean Sea, that side they closed down. So they came through Cape of Good Hope, through Africa, in that. And then Ferdinand Magellan, he traveled all around the world and found out and discovered that the earth is round. So all these travelers, they paid long. So you go through these voyages that different explorer have made. So just you read on page number 23-24 about the trade and voyages. I'm not going to discuss, just read the who has made what exploration and what was their findings, Then tomorrow we will discuss the modern means of transport. So till then, you be safe at home, study, go through this, and remember that when you listen to this video or see this video, you also open the book and sit, and then take the pencil, mark the things that I have told, and so that it will be easy for you to find out the answer to the questions that are there at the end of the lesson. So try to do all these lessons, the questionnaires of this lesson, when you are free, as much as you can do. When you cannot do, you can either ask now through the SMS or through Teno, or through when we come to the class, I'll explain once again. But you do, many of you can, if you might tell me that I have no copies. No, you have the old copies. I'm sure some of the copies that are untouched, that you do make use of those copies. And when you come to school, surely on the first day itself, the copies, if you have not got, you'll be given all those things. So don't worry. Do as much as you can. Okay? Be safe.